welcome back to Baldmanreacts, doing something a little different today for this video. Today, we're going to be talking about and giving a quick review of the Sony MDR V6 Studio headphones, the venerable old friends to many studios and fantastic recordings over the past 30 plus years. They were a birthday present to myself. They arrived last week, and I gotta be honest, it's really difficult to not want to spend a lot of time listening to music with them. Now, I have owned many different types of high-end headphones over the years. And when I bought these, of course, the toss-up was between the MDR V6 and the 7506, which has a touch more mid-range. But I went with the venerable MDR V6 over the newer 7506 because I just like the balance a little bit better. And while I've owned Bose, I've owned some of the higher end Sonys, I wanted a studio quality set of headphones. I do a lot of videos here on the channel that are very critical of mixes. So what better than to have a set of headphones that is certainly going to give me that kind of clarity and really be able to pick out those little nuances. And I certainly have with several of the records that I've done or tracks that I've checked out recently. I've gone back to them with this set of headphones, and I've got a different experience. I recently talked about listening to them, the latest Gazette record, Night, with the headphones several times, and I've given the record a little bit better of a score now because I've heard them on better headphones. Now, they have flat curves throughout. Unlike a lot of your headphones out there, the Beats, which I absolutely hate, by the way. I don't like the curves they put over their frequencies, emphasizing the bass more. I just don't think they sound very good. Some people love them. Personally, if I'm going to spend the money that typically is required for a pair of Beats, I'm going to go with Bose. But I wanted to go with the Sonys for a couple of reasons. One, relatively inexpensive. I was able to pick these up on Amazon for $70 US. They've subsequently gone up to a whole $76 US, which is far behind the MSRP that you normally find on them. And I do believe they are still in the $76 to $77 range on Amazon if you're a Prime member. And you get a phenomenal range of frequencies. You're looking at 5 hertz to 30,000 hertz, which is getting up there into those ranges that are going to be inaudible to the human ear. So you get a great broad range of frequencies. Get a lot more of those highs that you're able to hear more of what's going on with cymbal work and some of those higher pitched guitar tones and stuff that's going on up there. You can hear bit more of that fuzz and that crackle on a tone. You can be listening to a recording and you get a better feel of hearing some of that snare bleed or bleed into some of the other mics on a drum kit. Really gives you a ton of clarity. You get a real nice snap in the low end. The mid-range, honestly, I think I might want a touch more body, but I still like the mid-range response I'm getting, and the clarity in the vocal tones and the high end is something special. And it's certainly, with these, even over the Bose Quiet Comfort 2s and 3s that I've owned over the past several years, I just, with those flat curves, I get a better feel, and I'm hearing more than I've heard with other high-end headphones. And it's allowing me to hear music that I've listened to for years in a different way, and I'm picking up things that I haven't heard. had a subscriber recently ask me about what I'm listening to music with lately, and for all my critical listens, when I'm doing an album review, it's these MDR V6s. And as soon as I get a new mic, they will become part of my daily listening experience here on the channel as well. So, short review, I think they're fantastic. I would like a touch more mid-range response, but I don't miss it completely. I still get a great sense of that mid, and it really works well with the highs and the lows that I'm getting. Certainly, if you're a fan of drummers, you're going to be able to hear the cymbals so much better. Now, it's actually also causing me to rate records a little differently. The reason is while I have these great headphones, I'm being able to hear more. It's also I have these great headphones. So I'm gearing my reviews a little bit more towards what the average person is listening to a record with, and does it cater a bit? Does the mix cater a bit more towards the average person listening to it with a standard set of headphones you buy at Best Buy or Walmart or Target that aren't people that aren't audiophiles, or don't have a high-end stereo system, or don't have a phenomenal set of studio monitors at the house in which they're listening to their music with. So I'm certainly going to be a little bit more critical there, and I do listen to the records on multiple sets of headphones to gauge what I'm getting there. But if you're looking for a really solid set of headphones, which will give you a phenomenal listening experience, and it will give you a phenomenal listening experience in a sub $100, sub $80 price range, the Sony MDR V6 headphones will certainly give you that. Especially if you're listening to hard rock and metal and progressive stuff and stuff where you're getting a lot of different frequencies, you're getting a lot of different instrumentation, and you're getting a lot of things that are going on in the mix. That clarity and that definition is going to provide a much better, much stronger, much more enjoyable listening experience. So, this isn't a sponsored video. It's simply one I decided to do myself on what I'm listening to lately and what I'm using and enjoying. In case some of you out there were in the market for something new, wanted to upgrade, wanted a bit more enjoyment out of all the stuff you're listening to, and we're looking for an option that isn't going to break your bank and put you over $100 for buying a pair of headphones. There are some phenomenal Sonys out there. I'm certainly looking at some point. I will pick up that glorious pair of Sony $400 studio headphones that goes all the way up to 40,000 hertz. But these lovely Sony MDR V6s are certainly going to be a mainstay in my listening experience. And if you were thinking about upgrading, there's certainly a good set to look at and factor into your equation. Now, those of you that are looking for Bluetooth or wireless, it's going to be kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass. Also, if you look at the headphone jack here, the jack is a little bit longer, and it does need a more stout headphone jack to seat into. For instance, on my smartphone, I have an OtterBox case, and I've got to pull the headphone jack port down just a little bit to be able to get that to seat all the way in. So, you are going to have to deal with that a little bit. That might be a little inconvenient. I didn't want any bells and whistles on it. I wanted a phenomenal set of headphones. I didn't want Bluetooth. I didn't want wireless. If you're not used to the curled cord, that can be a little bit of a pain. Personally, I like the flexibility that gives. I don't worry about the cord getting yanked out of things or stretched wrong. And it does have that thick, heavy-duty cord. And again, there's the pedigree of the Sony MDR V6. They have been around since the original design has been around since the 80s. They've been upgrading them for decades now. And you can see them in live video. You can see them in live videos. You can see them in studio recordings. In fact, if you watch the last couple of Galnarius acoustics I've done, you'll notice that all those guys are actually using the MDR V6s for tracking. They're a really good set of headphones. They get used in studios quite a bit. I'm sure there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of albums that have been recorded, mixed, and mastered with them. So, hope you guys enjoyed an honest, truthful review and critique from me on a product. One that I've paid for and absolutely enjoyed and would be very quick to buy another pair if I needed to. At some point, maybe I'll pick up a set of 7506s just to see the difference and to see what they are. Maybe I'll use some channel funds at some point to do that, just to give you guys a different opinion. If that ever becomes something you want, let me know. But I enjoy them. They've certainly made my job on the channel much, much easier to do. They've certainly made my listening experience far more enjoyable and have given me a different appreciation for records that I have owned for decades. I mean, be it analog or digital recordings, you're probably going to find a couple of things that you haven't heard if you haven't been listening to them with a really high quality set of studio headphones, or a high quality set of studio monitors. So if you're not an audiophile, but you want really clear sounds with flat curves, then these are going to be for you. If you want something under that $100 range, that's going to give you really strong listening experience and really strong sound quality, these are going to be for you. If you have a pair of beats that you just don't like anymore and want something better, they'll do it too, and they'll do it far cheaper. If you want something Bluetooth capable or wireless, this isn't your bag. But I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been putting a bunch up the past couple of days. I will explain that in another video. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you to my law enforcement, military veterans, and first responders. As always, you have been awesome. I have been Baldman. See you in the next one. Be excellent to each other and keep headbanging.